I will say first and foremost, I don't consider this a crossover. I think this is a 3-hour film that happens to include all of your One Chicago characters. This doesn't really take us episode to episode. It's just 3 hours of one continuous storyline, which is really special. It is the biggest thing we've ever done, and it is like I'm so impressed by what production was able to pull off. Like these are three very separate shows who work on three very separate schedules. And these magicians somehow managed to figure out a way to make this movie work in the middle of a season of television. And it just to be a small part of it was such a joy. It's such a pleasure, and I am so excited for you guys to watch it.
First of all, it's not just a crossover where you have a couple of characters who just kind of waltz through PD, and then you have a fire person who's going to the ER or whatever. No, this is, it feels like to me, Avengers Endgame. Eventually, everybody is on this huge ride, and all three shows interact and intersect in such an incredible way that people are going to freak out. Obviously, Med is, I wouldn't say overwhelmed by it. They rise to the occasion, but we will see everybody working with each other rising to said occasion. There are interactions between the Med people and the fire people and the fire people and the PD people and the PD and the Med people. It's a huge undertaking. It's a real epic evening of television that will harken back to the olden days of those big event shows that I remember growing up with. It's going to be so exciting. It's hard for me to really. It's like competition of network stars, but with weapons.
I don't think that I can divulge that information. In general, I can say that it is always an incredible joy to work with those guys. Especially the guys on PD who've been with us almost the entire time. We've like Leroyce and Marina, and Patty. Those guys are fantastic. But in terms of my involvement, I'm gonna have to.
I mean, the thing is that the writers have been very smart in placing certain characters that have certain things in common, and also would make good kind of energetic ping pong dynamics. I will say that, what can I say? I'm not going to say anything to you except I've heard that, let's say, wearing that heavy fire gear that's 40, 50 pounds with a tank on your back and with a tool in your hand, apparently I've heard is really exhausting and difficult to do.